So welcome everyone, good to see you. And this is the fourth session of this module 11. And there's only 3 meditations in the module, but if you were here with us last week, then you know that we kind of did a short version of meditation 3, the 1,000 arm chin raising. So what we'll do is focus on the second half of this meditation. So we'll kind of build up the merit field at the beginning and our motivation, and then we'll go into the 8 verses is the more of the focus of the meditation. Okay, so just so you have a bit of background, and hopefully during the intensive practice day we can do it the whole complete meditation, but it's a little difficult to squeeze it into the 25 minutes. Good. So find a comfortable position. On the cushion, on the chair, the feet flat on the ground. Just bring your focus into the session, into the Zoom room, into the room you're sitting in, leaving everything else behind. Become aware of your breath, just the inhale and the exhale. Calming your mind a bit more, so your mind becomes subtle. We make an altruistic motivation for doing this meditation, for developing our minds, thinking that we're doing this not only for our own development and our own happiness, but for the sake of all sentient beings, so that one day we become Buddhists, we become enlightened, we become clairvoyant, so that we can help all the suffering sentient beings that we encounter and all that we don't encounter. And then we recall that from beginningless lifetimes within samsara until now, I've experienced all the sufferings, all the general sufferings of samsara, numberless times, through countless lifetimes. And if I continue to follow the wrong conceptions that I've been following so far, then I'm certainly going to keep suffering into countless lifetimes into the future, just as I have in the past. But at this moment, I've received the human body, the most precious gift possible. And I have the 8 freedoms I have the 10 endowments, and this gives me the ability to achieve happiness in perfection. So that comes from my side. And then on the outside, I've met the virtuous friend, the holy Mahayana virtuous friend. It's very difficult to find, but we found it. And the virtuous friend can help me develop my mind to become omniscient. And then the third component that I've also encountered is I met the teachings of the Buddha. So I have the supreme medicine that dispels all delusions, all suffering. So now that I have this perfect human rebirth, met the virtuous friend, have this aspiration, I've met the Dharma teachings, we can think and aspire that may I never be discouraged, even for a single moment, in practicing the deeds of the Bodhisattva. We do this practice for the sake of others. So we completely renounce doing anything for ourselves and aspire to do things just for others. So we have to generate these merits to develop this bodhichitta mind. And through these merits, we can make the aspiration that we quickly attain the state of the great compassionate one. So we now visualize the thousand-armed Chenrezi Gavrila. If you don't know what he looks like exactly, then we can think about his embodiment in this time and space, His Holiness Dalai Lama. And if visualization is difficult for you, we can just imagine the compassionate energy generated by Chenrezi, generated by His Holiness, this compassionate smile, caring for every single sentient being. No anger towards you, no anger towards anyone, just pure compassion. So bring this visualization, this feeling into the space in front of you. And then we think that may this compassionate one, Chenrezi, lead me to enlightenment for the sake of all sentient beings, so that everyone can experience this blissful, pure realm after this life. And having made this request, we think that the Guru, he accepts your requests, and he sends innumerable nectar light rays into your body, You can feel these light rays absorb into your body, and all of your obscurations, all your negative karma, all the diseases, all spirit harms are instantly purified. And your body becomes clear like a crystal, just a silhouette. And while holding this visualization, we'll recite the 6-syllable mantra, just for a few minutes. And we hold the visualization during the recitation. Om mani padme hum, 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 Om mani padme hum. And then we think that even though it's completely up to me alone to bear this burden of eradicating all the suffering of mother sentient beings, at the moment, I'm not capable of doing that. I can't even help myself. But if I were to be a Buddha and receive the enlightened body, then just one light ray coming from my body to a suffering sentient being could ripen the minds of countless suffering sentient beings and lead them to this enlightened state. So therefore, I'm going to do this practice, the practice of this profound teaching of Buddha Shakyamuni, and transform my mind into bodhichitta. Now I'll recite the 7 limb prayer. Reverently, I prostrate to Guru Avalokiteshvara with my body, speech, and mind. I present clouds of every type of offering, actual and imagined. I declare all my negative actions accumulated since beginning this time, and rejoice in the merit of all holy and ordinary beings. Please remain until the end of cyclic existence and turn the wheel of Dharma for living beings. Because of the merits of myself and others, may the 2 bodhicittas ripen, and may I receive the great enlightenment for the sake of all living beings. And then we make a short mandala offering. This ground anointed with perfume, with flowers, adorned with Mount Meru, 4 continents, the sun and the moon. I imagine this as a Buddha field and offer it. May all living beings enjoy this pure land. May the Guru's life be long. May all beings equally in space receive happiness and comfort. May I and all others, without exception, accumulate merit, purify obscurations, and quickly receive enlightenment. Idam Guru Ratnamandalagam Niryadaya. And now looking at the first verse of thought transformation. Determined to obtain the greatest possible benefit from all sentient beings who are more precious than a wish-fulfilling jewel, I shall hold them most dear at all times. And with Chinrezi, or His Holiness, visualized just in front of us, we imagine this blissful white nectar purifies all the obscurations, especially those that prevent you from holding others most dear. And they bring all the realizations, especially love and compassion and bodhichitta. In the second verse, when in the company of others, I shall always consider myself the lowest of all. From the depths of my heart, hold others dear and supreme. And again, we visualize this blissful white nectar emanating from Chinrezi in all directions, and it's purifying all the obscurations of all sentient beings. And especially it's preventing you from considering yourself the lowest of all and from holding others dear and supreme. And emanates all the realizations of love and compassion. And then the third verse, vigilant, the moment a delusion appears in my mind, endangering myself and others, I shall confront and avert it without delay. So again, we visualize this white light nectar emanating from Chinrezi in front of us. And it's purifying all the obscurations, especially the obscurations that prevent you from confronting and averting delusions. And purifies them. In the fourth verse, whenever I see beings who are wicked in nature and overwhelmed by violent negative actions and suffering, I shall hold such rare dear ones as I have found a precious treasure. And the blissful rays of nectar enter all the bodies of all sentient beings and purify the obscurations that prevent you from holding evil or wicked individuals, sentient beings, as dear to you. It completely purifies this thought. The fifth verse, when out of envy, others mistreat me with abuse, insults, or the like, I shall accept defeat and offer the victory to others. And the light rays emanate from Jinrezi, entering all sentient beings and purify this obscuration that prevents them from accepting defeat and offering victory to others, especially to myself. The sixth verse. When someone whom I have benefited and in whom I have great hopes gives me a terrible harm, I shall regard that person as my holy guru. The blissful white nectar that purifies all these obscurations that prevent you from seeing beings who harm you and helps you see them as your holy guru. In the seventh verse. In short, both directly and indirectly, do I offer my every happiness and benefit to all my mothers. I shall secretly take upon myself all their harmful actions and suffering. We visualized all the blissful nectar rays emanating from Jinrezi in front of us, purifying all the obscurations that prevent you from offering every happiness and every benefit to all mother sentient beings. And we take upon ourselves all their harmful actions and their suffering. In verse 8, undefiled by the stains of the superstitions of the 8 worldly concerns, may I, by perceiving all phenomena as illusory, be released from the bondage of attachment. And the blissful white nectar from Jinrezi purifies all these obscurations that prevent you from perceiving all phenomena as illusory. It brings you all the realizations, especially the realization of wisdom, the wisdom of emptiness, which perceives all phenomena as illusory, and by which you are released from the bondage of the delusion of karma. So we dedicate all the merits that we generated through these contemplations of the 8 verses to develop the compassionate mind for ourselves, to remove our delusions, to benefit all sentient beings. And make them, to cherish them more than ourselves.